Take one. Mind and Soil Productions. It's really cold. Cool. Hey folks, I am Jordan, the founder here at Mind and Soil. And as you can see, it's a couple months away still from gardening. I've got my breath there. There's snow on the Chief behind us and frost on all the beds. So we're gonna have tons and tons of gardening content coming for you in a few months, but that's only part of the equation here, and we want to spend some time on the mind as well. And especially as we go into the new year here, such a good time and great opportunity to think about the year ahead, goals, intentions, etc. So what we're going to do is walk you through my framework for intention and goal setting, and hope that this is valuable to you in some way, shape, or form. So let's dive in. One of my absolute favorite family traditions is that one day out of the year we sit down as a family, my mom and dad, my brothers, my sister-in-law, and even my nieces now, and we spend an afternoon or an evening reflecting on the past year and then also sharing with one another what our goals, our aspirations are for the year ahead. And we've been doing this since we were little boys back in the day. I know that for myself it was running a specific time or winning a certain race. I think that my older brother, he was looking to grow a couple inches one year to be at a certain height for basketball, although I'm not sure how you can impact or really have that as a goal to grow your overall height, but there you have it. And over time, these goals have shifted and changed to now being much more focused on, say, my mental well-being over the course of the year, or my impact on the environment, the way that I'm looking to build the business. And on top of that, the way and the structure that I go about goal setting has changed as well. I found back in the day that goals were good, but perhaps they were also a little bit too rigid. And you have a year like 2020 where halfway through or a quarter of the way through, a lot of it just gets thrown out the window because the plan and what the universe had planned for you completely changes. And so then a lot of those goals go out the window. And so what I'm going to walk you through today is the way that I go about goal setting now. And I'm actually going to share with you my goals and intention for 2021. So let's go ahead and get started with the intention. Now, if we have goals on one hand being very rigid, very measurable, at the end of the year, it's black and white. I either accomplished this or I didn't accomplish this. With an intention, it's much more fluid, it's much more artistic, it's much more feeling based. And I really believe that having the two of these working in partnership creates a beautiful level of balance. It's kind of your yin and your yang, or goals are the scientific side and your intention is the more artistic side. So for myself, the intention that I have for 2021 is to build a strong and enduring foundation. And to provide a little bit of background on this, it's really been like a 3-year journey to arrive at the inception and launch of Mind and Soil. And what I was searching for those 3 years was something that really lit me up the way that Mind and Soil does. So to have now found it, I don't want to rush into trying to build it as big and grand as possible, but rather laying a really, really strong foundation. The goals that I set are always in different key categories of my life. And again, these are the more black and white pieces that I can measure at the end of the year and say, I accomplished this or I did not accomplish that. And so the first place that I want to get started on that front is health and kind of all things health. And so the first goal that I have on the health front is to have a sleep score of 4 out of 5. And a sleep score is something that I've just kind of created on my own. And I know that if I hit 4 out of 5, that generally means that I've slept through the whole night. Maybe I got up once to go to the bathroom, but I had a really great sleep. And for me, it all starts with the mind. If my mind is good, then I'm going to be productive the next day. And my mind is going to be good if I had a good night's sleep. So very first top level goal for me is that sleep score of 4 out of 5. Now, on the physical side, I took a little bit of a tumble this past year, fell off a boulder, have had some lower back, hamstring problems. And so my goal on that front is that by the end of 2021, being able to put my hands flat onto the ground, which we should take a video of me filming, trying to touch my toes, because that's probably gonna be the most challenging goal this whole year.
Hey Jordan, let me see that hamstring flexibility. it is. All right, we're almost there.
But we'll see how we go. So that's the second one on that front. And then the third goal that I have on the health side, it comes back to the physical body. And one thing that I absolutely love to do is go climbing. And in order to continue to progress on that front, I know that my core strength has to get super good. And so I want to do a active hang, so just hanging from a bar for 60 seconds with my legs straight out in front of me. And again, the most challenging part about that will not actually be the hang, but being able to get my legs to a straight position. So that's what I'm focused on the health side. The next key area for me is on the business front. So the first goal that I have when it comes to Mind and Soil is to have essentially a repeat purchase amongst customers of 60%. So everybody that purchases, I'm hoping that at least 60% of them purchase again. For me, that means that they believe in the vision of the company, they believe in the purpose of what we're all about, and they're getting amazing results from the products that we're selling to them. The second goal that I have on the business front is to have a 50% margin. And I'm focusing on this more so than a revenue target because that margin will allow us to then have essentially the financial fuel to begin to propel and really bring that vision to life of bringing gardening to 1 million individuals and introducing them to the mental health and therapeutic benefits of gardening. So then the third area is the overall growth of the company, and I want to be essentially working with 1,000 customers by the end of 2021. So a customer acquisition goal of 1,000 new and unique customers. So those are the three goals on the business front, and I'm going to kind of dovetail off of that into the financial side. The financial goal for this coming year is to, I'm so cold. The financial goal for this year is to have revenue of $50,000. And so, off of 1,000 customers, that would be the goal that I want to end up at. And the second part to that, which is, I suppose, more challenging and not so much a goal, but that also means that I'm going to run out of savings at some point this year. And that's a little bit daunting, it's a little bit scary, but at the same time, I'm not really anxious about it because I feel so convicted in what I'm doing and what I'm building. And so I have almost like a sub-intention on the financial front, and that is to not even start thinking about how to make ends meet until I get to the last $10,000 worth of my savings. And at that point in time, I don't know what that will look like, but I don't even want to put any energy towards that yet. I just want to be enjoying and making the absolute most of the time until then. And who knows, it might be that we don't end up even getting to that point on things. So continuing from there, the next key category for me is relationships. And my family is incredibly, incredibly important to me. And so all of my relationship goals are actually just on the family front. So the first one is to do a trip with my dad and my brothers. We do this every year, and I want to keep that as a priority to happen. The second one is one of the goals that I didn't accomplish this year, which I'm not thrilled about, and that is to do a trip with my mom to go and look at real estate in some part of British Columbia. It's a thing that both her and I really, really enjoy. She's a huge gardener herself, so I'm sure there'll be some gardening involved with whatever properties we look at. And the third relationship goal that I have for this year is to do a birthday adventure with my two nieces for their birthdays. So rather than buying them a gift, carving out a day or an afternoon to have some quality time with them and take them on some sort of little adventure. So those are the goals on the relationship front. And then every year I set environmental goals, and I compound these goals. So whatever I set 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, that flows into this coming year. So back then it was to no longer use coffee cups. And so I still don't use any disposable coffee cups to this day. To use 0 grocery bags, which I still use 0 grocery bags. To have 0 food waste, which is a lot easier now that I've got all the composting set up here. Last year, I cut out chicken, so I have not ate any chicken over the course of 2020. And this one's gonna be tough for me as well, but in 2021, I wanna cut out beef. So I won't eat any beef in 2021. So those are my goals on the environmental front. And then the last one that I think is so important is the area that I call play or adventure. And it's like, what are the fun goals that you're gonna try and accomplish over the course of the year? So I've already alluded to climbing, and so this coming year I want to climb my first 512, which is a pretty sizable climb and challenging climb, but I'm confident that I'll be able to get that one done this coming year with a couple months of training put towards it. I also have never gone on a climbing trip, and so I want to take a vacation this coming year where the focus of it is going and climbing in a certain location. And then the third and final goal that I have on the play side comes back to the garden, and one thing that I absolutely love is spicy food. And so this coming year, I want to grow 5 different varieties of peppers to really start to master the pepper world, and then of course incorporate that into some of the dishes that I cook. So those are the intentions that I have. Those are the goals that I have. And now that I've discussed each of those, the third area that I think is really, really important too is as you walk through those goals and that intention and you put yourself into late December 2021, how do you want to feel? And when you read through your goals, do you feel that way? So the way that I want to feel at the end of 2021, more than anything, is excited. You know, I'm super excited right now. I'm excited about what we can accomplish on the business front and just the direction that my life is going. And so I really hope to feel that way at the end of 2021. I also want to feel essentially a level of peacefulness or calmness that, you know, again, it's been a big foundational year, but it's been the perfect foundation that I've been building, and it's been the foundation that I've been looking for a number of years. And the third thing I want is just to feel happy. That's, I think, yeah, a fairly straightforward one. So those are the 3 things that I'm looking to feel at the end of 2021. The last 2 parts of my goal setting and intention framework is the 4th piece is making it visible to yourself. So downstairs by my bedroom, I've got a whiteboard where I put all of my goals. I know that some people have put them on the back of their computer, the back of their phone screen. Those are also great options. Have it somewhere where you're gonna see it every day. One option on this front that I really, really love is to write an email to yourself with all the goals, send it to yourself, and then snooze it every single day so that when you wake up, when you open your email, sitting right there, the first email that you're gonna look at is, these are my goals, this is my intention for the year ahead. So that's the 4th piece of my intention and goal setting framework. And the 5th piece is to review and to refine it on a quarterly basis. So when we get to late March here, I'll spend a weekend and just slow down and think about, are my goals in line with what I want to be doing this year? Do these feel right? Are there things that are a little bit off the mark here? And if they are off the mark, give yourself permission to let go of those and to refine them into something that is more in line with what you're looking to call into your life. And so over the course of 2020, I have made edits, adjustments, and refinements to my goals, and I completely anticipate doing that in 2021 as well. So those are the different steps that I go through to ultimately set my intention and goals for the year. First an intention, then goals, then how I want to feel at the end of the year, then I make them visible to myself, and over the course of the year, as I embody them, I review and refine to make sure that they are lining up with what I want to call into my life. Hope that you have enjoyed this video. If it has brought you any type of value, if you found it useful, go ahead and give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're gonna have lots of content coming out on the mind and lots of content coming out on the soil as well. And if you do wanna see a video on myself reviewing and refining my goals 3 months down the track from now, I'd be more than happy to do a little check-in video to see what the year has brought at that point. Thanks so much. Break, cut. Wait, you said cut, not break, right. This isn't football. Got it.